Hey everybody, I'm Ray,
And I'm Paul.
and we are the Alconauts.
And this week, we find out if no name brand means no quality brand. Ray, why don't you give us a tale of the tape on this guy?
Alrighty, so this week we are featuring No Name Beer. And that's all I got. Beer, no name, 5%. Nothing on the cap.
Well, this is as generic as this is going to be, so why don't we crack these babies open? Because, Ray,
As always, Paul's thirsty.
let's find out if these are twist-offs. Oh, they are?
Ooh. So, you may notice, we're pouring into these fancy new glasses that are logoed. These are courtesy of Intern Jackie and Two Creative Sisters. You can find Two Creative Sisters on Instagram.
And Facebook. No,
Huh.
actually, that's not bad.
You know, what I expected from this beer was not awesome and not terrible. Just beer. And that's what it tastes like.
But it's got a hint of I don't know if it's the maltiness in it, and it's pleasant. It's as a light beer drinker, it goes down really smooth. It's not overly carbonated. It's not. I'm pleasantly surprised, actually.
Yeah, it's funny. I get a bit of sweetness, kind of reminiscent of a tiger beer. I can't remember if we reviewed a tiger beer or not, but that was a corn-based beer. Not sure what style this beer is. I believe it's supposed to be a lager.
Well, literally, what you see on the label is what you get, right? It just says beer. I don't find it has that sweet aftertaste like Tiger beer does. I would probably, if I'm gonna compare this to another beer, it's kind of like a Canadian or a Coors Light.
The guy that cashed me out today when I picked it up, he said, "Oh, are you looking for a cheap and cheerful beer? Because if you are, you've hit it on the head."
I'm cheerful and I like cheap.
I think the other beer that you can buy in this similar price range, I think it's called Cool. I think it's very similar price range. I remember having it years ago, and this is far superior flavor-wise.
I thought it'd be bland. I thought it'd be overly sweet. I thought it would just be like a really light beer that had no taste to it. I'm finding there's like hints of that maltiness afterwards. I'm getting a good aftertaste on this. I'm thoroughly enjoying this, and of course, my background in light beer drinking really prepared me for this. How does it stack up to the big boys, like a Canadian, like a Moosehead?
Believe it or not, I like this better than Canadian.
Well, did you actually like Canadian?
I did, but I think I drank so much of it, and maybe too much of it, and there's just something to Canadian now. The smell of it just kind of turns my stomach a little bit.
I tell you, if I was at a bar and someone poured this out of the tap for me, I would never second guess it at all as a legitimate beer. And it really goes to show, like, does the label stop us from trying different beers?
Well, but it is legitimate because it says beer. It's a legitimate beer.
I know it's a legitimate beer. but have you
no,
ever bought this before, Ray?
No, you made a good point, Paul. When I walked up to the counter with this, there was a number of people in line in front of me. And a couple of people looked at me because I had 2 6-packs in my hand. And it's funny because the guy in front of me, I think he bought 4 bottles of some sort of an alcohol. I think it might have been scotch. And his bill was just over $500. I was a little embarrassed, but 12 of these for, $18.
That's a pretty good night.
Yeah. Yeah, and I have no friends that I would impress, I don't think, with $500 worth of scotch. So
Yeah, and I think that's the stigma. You're not impressing anybody with these beers. I've never tried this before, solely based on the fact that it's a no-name beer. You don't show off the cutlery and the glassware that you bought at the dollar store.
exactly.
What celebrity would drink this beer, and what celebrity would definitely not?
Ooh, that's tough, Paul. I almost said Pierce Brosnan would not drink this beer, but Ryan Reynolds would.
Wow, you just love Ryan Reynolds, eh?
He's a good Canadian boy who has a distillery here. So,
Okay, I'm gonna say Kid Rock is drinking this beer because he's not gonna give a fuck,
yep.
but he's gonna like it. Celine Dion is not gonna drink this beer.
Okay, yeah.
Or,
She might.
I don't think so. I would start bringing this out to parties because I think anyone can drink this beer. It's smooth, it's not sweet, it's so easy to drink, and it's 5%.
You know what I like about bringing this to parties? Nobody else is bringing it to the party. So if you see somebody walking around with one, you know they've stole your beer.
That is so true. You know, I think this is a sleeper. This is definitely something that people should try at least once. This is every college kid's dream. A cheap beer that they could just down.
The only thing that would make this better for college kids is if it was in cans so they could shotgun it.
If our American friends are watching, they must be thinking $1 a beer, like, oh, we get dollar beer, blah blah blah. But we don't get that in Canada. We get the shit taxed out of us. And to have $1 a beer, it's fucking awesome.
I would rather buy 6 of these than 6 Budweiser.
I never thought of picking up this beer just because of the connotations that it's a no-name brand beer. You know, I always thought, how good can a no-name brand be? I'm pretty convinced right now. I'm pretty happy with having picked this up. You know what, Ray? Let's take our new fancy glasses and let's chug this beer back. And once again, 2 creative sisters, you guys did a fantastic job. And Jackie, you're the best intern that we never pay, ever.
3, 2, 1, go.
You got me. But boy, I tell you, actually, you tell me. What are your final thoughts and your final score, Ray?
This is a painful one because I really, really I had no preconceived ideas on this one. Like I think I said off the top of the show, it was either going to be a beer that's just really good, or it's good, or it's going to be a beer that's really bad, or it's just going to be beer. And you know what? It is just a beer. There's no pomp and circumstance. There's no drama. It's a yellow label that says I'm beer. It's 5%.
Yep.
It's a lager. And as far as lagers go, like, I would drink this again. I would buy this. The price point is a huge bonus. I got a score that's a 4.
All I gotta say is, college kids, university kids, rejoice. You have a beer that's affordable and that you can drink in droves. Absolutely fantastic, easy going down. It's not bland at all. I enjoyed it. I'm giving this a 4. Fantastic job, no name brand, and don't let the label, stop you from buying this. So, with that being said, I am Paul.
I'm Ray.
And we are the Alconauts.
Cheers, all.
Take care.